you awesome kisters to the CistReactZ, guys. Today we're reacting to I Solved FNAF Security Breach Part 2. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to FNAF, and comment down below. If you guys did not see my reaction to Part 1 of this, you should go check it out. I'll be waiting right here until you do. Alright, let's get into this. Bop! And make sure you follow my Twitch. I'm going to be posting gaming content. And I like interacting with the chat and taking your suggestions on what games to play. So make sure you follow my Twitch and my Twitter.
Video was meant to be an explanation of how we actually can't solve Five Nights at Freddy's security breach with the current content we have. But today, I take that back. By the end of this video, you will know who Patient 46 is, the story behind Patient 46, who is occupying that secret sticky note room, and finally you'll get a glimpse at what I think the DLC has in store for us. I guarantee what I'm about to tell you is going to change how you think about this game. All I ask is that you keep an open mind and remember this is just a theory. First,
bro, I swear to God, like those words like actually hit, because like every time MatPat posts a theory, Twitter just hits him so hard. Like I don't understand it. If he's just making theories about the game, where does the hate come from? It's not like he makes a theory and then Steel Wool's like, oh crap, he made a theory, we have to make the story like this. No, I'm gonna assume that Steel Wool and Scott are gonna make the story exactly how Scott intended the story to go, since it's his game. Even if MatPat were to get every single nail on the head correct, I'm sure Scott wouldn't say anything like he hasn't for the last 8 years about the story. You know? He's gonna play with our heads a little bit. So I'm just saying, y'all gotta calm down on these theorists. Like, it's just a theory, a game theory. Like, seriously.
Exact year this
I don't think what they're
in my last video,
I don't think what they say is gonna mess with the timeline or events. Like, what's the hate for?
I explained to you that the game takes place in March, likely the date of March 16th, using the whiteboards next to the daycare party rooms. I was actually wrong in my last video. It turns out the second column doesn't stand for parents, it stands for the party package that the people chose. You can tell because there's the erased word that says package above it. And also we figured out GNN.
What?
Tell because there's the erased word that says
I can see a PAC. Okay, no, I can see the word now. How do y'all notice this? Like, bro, this is like the same type of try-hard, and I'm saying this in a respectful way, like, because I in reality love how much of a try-hard the FNAF community is to just look deeper and be like, huh, that says the word package on there. Like, I would not be able to see that.
Package above it. And also,
how do y'all see this?
GNNA. That stands for General N/A. Just
what does
like
that
a
mean?
General party with no reason for it. But in my last video, what I didn't clarify is the exact year.
Sometimes people just want to party, I guess. You know?
So now I'm here to tell you that Security Breach takes place in March of 2035. Don't believe me? Throughout the game, there's a ton of different objects with dates on them, but some of the dates just don't make sense. The rule that I put in place for myself is that if it has something Fazbear Entertainment related on it, it is canon to the game. And one thing does. In the backstage control room, you can see a calendar on the posted board with July 4th circled in red. This calendar has the Helpy stamp on it, which indicates to me that Steel Wool meant for it to be there. On this calendar, July 4th lands on a Wednesday, and one of the few years where July 4th lands on a Wednesday is 2035. Need more proof? In the security office next to Monty Delph, you can see a picture frame on the desk. Pictured are two people wearing...
Hey, 2035, is that what he's gonna say? But bro, my brain would have never told me to go check my calendar and be like, when is July 4th on a Wednesday? I've just been confused.
Fred Masquerade 2035 written on it.
That's crazy.
2035 also aligns with the cut dialogue that was supposed to be in the elevators explaining that bears are extinct. I guess Steel Wool isn't too confident when it comes to the bear population. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the biggest mystery of them all. Who is Patient 46? While trying to figure this out, I decided the easiest way to do this would be taking all of the characters we know of in this franchise and comparing them to what we know about Patient 46. First up were the most obvious choices, Vanessa and Gregory. Vanessa was an easy one to debunk. They make it very clear in the retro CDs that Patient 46 is a child, and that they're basically the opposite of Vanessa. Never mind that their CDs are literally labeled different numbers, 71 and 46. Gregory was also an easy one to debunk. Patient 46 seems to be slightly involved with Afton, spreading the glitch and making the animatronics
a child helping
more
Afton
than entertaining. So if Gregory is Patient 46, why would he program the robots to attack him? Also, Patient 46 is known for not liking the outside and wanting to keep the windows shut. So if Gregory was Patient 46, why would he be so
wanting
adamant
to keep
about
the windows shut?
At this point, I was stuck. Gregory and Vanessa are basically the only two human characters in this game, so who else could it be? About ready to give up, I decided to do more searching around the mall. And while walking around the Pizzaplex, I noticed this plushie. At the time, I was like, oh, that's funny, they put a little Nightmare On plush inside the golf ball ride, until I found another. In the hallway next to Rockstar Row, there's a giant toy Freddy plushie
like the soul
on the
inside the puppet, but ain't she gone?
Another Nightmare On plush Freddy plushie on the ceiling, and wouldn't you know,
bro, I would have never seen that.
Another Nightmare On plush peeking out from behind it.
How do you find this stuff?
Because I found a Nightmare On plush in 2 more places. Bonnie Bowl and the security office in the West Arcade.
Oh god, it's just staring.
These aren't just decorations, they're hidden, watching over us as we play the game. Because of this discovery, I tried finding more connections to Nightmare On, and I immediately thought of the staff bots in the sewers. While making your way to the secret sticky note room, you pass by some staff bots that are patrolling the area. These staff bots obviously look way different than the ones we've seen throughout the game. They feature a mouth with a bunch of little sharp teeth, black
look like the puppet,
pupils, and stripes around their arms. They look exactly like Nightmare On. At this point, I was convinced it wasn't a coincidence. So for fun, I decided to throw one more person in the roster for who Patient 46 could be. Charlie, Henry Emily's deceased daughter who possesses the puppet.
What?
Hang on to your seats for this one. First, Patient 46 has to be a child, and Charlie...
I'm sorry, but ain't her soul gone? I thought she got burned. Let me go back.
Could be Charlie, Henry Emily's deceased daughter who possesses the
His last name is so weird.
To your seats for this one. First, Patient 46 has to be a child, and Charlie meets that requirement. But the thing that really grabbed my attention was this. Towards the beginning of the retro CDs, we find out that Patient 46 doesn't like the outside, preferring to keep the windows shut. So how does this align with Charlie? Why would Charlie be afraid of going outside?
That's how her mechanics are in the games, right?
She died. In FNAF 6, we get this 8-bit minigame showing us the events leading up to Charlie's
I was connecting it with the puppet, but I guess connected to the human.
She eventually gets murdered outside of the pizzeria while waving through the window trying to get help. Charlie's trauma is directly connected to the trauma of Patient 46. Need more proof? While re-listening to the CDs, I noticed one line that the therapist says to 46 that is completely random.
Tragedy always leads to a feeling of loss. It's a hole that feels funny, right? If you could process those feelings, how do you think it would affect your fantasies? Would you keep them in the way they are?
If Patient 46 really is in therapy talking through their trauma, why would the therapist randomly bring up them having fantasies? Well, the reason this is brought up is because the therapist literally doesn't believe Patient 46 when they talk about their past. The therapist thinks it's a fantasy made up by a little kid. They even go as far to say that when they talk about their trauma, it sounds like they're reading a story out of a book. So when in this franchise has anyone's trauma ever been connected to the word fantasy? Well, let's take a look at Charlie's minigame again. Do you hear that eerily happy song playing in the background? Guess what that song's called? The song is called Alchemist's Fantasy. At this point, I officially lost my marbles.
Well, okay.
I was convinced Patient 46 has to be...
how do we know the official song names? I'm assuming the... I'm assuming the songs that have been ripped from the files in the game, is that what it's actually called in the files?
Charlie. Everything was lining up so well at this point. But the question is, how? Charlie's been dead for decades at this point. I was trying to think of any way it could make sense being Charlie. While trying to make this make sense, I decided to look into every jump scare, voice line, and general appearance of the puppet in this whole franchise.
The Markiplier clips.
Including the Nightmare On staff bot jump scare, which, if you listen carefully, has the Nightmare On jump scare behind it.
What? Get the fuck. Nah. I died in that exact same spot. How did I not hear it?
Which, if you listen carefully, has the Nightmare On jump scare behind it.
Because let me find out the Nightmare animatronics are like gonna come back for Ruin or something. But like, I remember dying in this exact spot once in my gameplay of this. How did I not hear that? Probably my headphones were already flying off because I got scared. That's probably why.
On it, so I decided to go check it out. But while I was looking for it, I noticed a pattern. This one resembles the tapes from Help Wanted and is called Variations, with the A emphasized in the middle. Could this relate to how the tapes from FNAF VR turned Vanessa into a variation of William Afton? This one is called Crash Data and has Springtrap's face on the side. This one is called Combat Kids, with a boy who looks very similar to Gregory, but this time with purple hair. This one is called Purgatory, Purgatory, which references Afton's Purgatory and Ultimate Custom Night. This one is called Ends with Stars, which literally describes the end of the game. Every ending ends with a certain amount of stars. The arcade machines are referencing different moments from the games. Here's a few more. Flip-Flop Cop represents Vanessa
Flip-Flop Cop
from security guard to Vanny. Sea Crashers is referencing the hideout in the pirate ship of Pirate's Cove.
I would not be able to make this connection.
In the sea. Zombani.
This music is really fitting in the background.
Endoskeleton to bring Afton back from the dead. But the one arcade machine that really stuck out to me was this one, Ballistic Puppet Show, featuring
Ballistic Puppet Show,
Nightmare Own, and the original puppet from FNAF 2. What if this whole game was just one big ballistic puppet show? Need more proof? If you take a step back from the arcade machine and look around, what are we surrounded with? Wires that look just like the puppet's arms, wrapping...
He didn't have to say it. I just looked up. Are you shitting me? Bro, I played the whole game and like I've never thought about it like that.
Around the entire arcade.
It's like these theorists need to like point me in the right direction or something. Like I would have never thought about this stuff to look like that.
But if you're still not convinced, I don't blame you. We still have plenty of questions to answer, like why is Charlie back? Why is she on Afton's side?
Yeah,
is
how?
she the one occupying the sticky note room?
I thought she got burned.
Answer those questions in a section I like to call Why is Patient
Then again,
46?
Michael might be in Fun Time. Did I say Fun Time? Michael might be in Glam Rock Freddy's, so I guess maybe the burning didn't work again? I don't know.
To be able to explain this theory to you, I need to explain to you in the simplest terms what happens in the books, specifically the Silver Eyes trilogy. Basically, in these books, Henry rebuilt Charlie after her death at the hands of William Afton, essentially building different versions of Charlie for each stage of her life. All of these being reflected by the closet doors in Charlie's bedroom. One big, one medium, and one small closet. It is also revealed that whenever Henry builds something that doesn't work, he discards it, dismantling it for parts. The big twist is that William ends up stealing all of these discarded parts along with the adult version of Charlie. It's also revealed that William Afton invented illusion discs. These trick you.
I remember that. I forgot this whole book though.
Not. They also can make you look very blurry in photographs. More on that later. William decides to experiment on the adult Charlie, basically turning her into Baby from Sister Location, who ends up accidentally killing his daughter Elizabeth. Now Elizabeth is possessing a Charlie robot that still holds the memories of Charlie, but Elizabeth doesn't feel like they're her own. That's basically all you need to know. I know it's a little complicated, but stay with me. Obviously, the books don't 100% align with everything that happens in the games. But funnily enough, there's a direct reference to these books through this message found in Security Breach that simply says, "Fire Dave, he sucks." Dave was the stand-in for William Afton in the Silver Eyes book. Anyways, what I think is happening in the games canon is that Henry Emily rebuilt Charlie in her child form, the last form she was in before she died, after her death, but decided to discard it and dismantle it like he does in the books. William Afton then steals these parts and takes them to the underground facility and sister location to rebuild what Henry created, but turned it into his own little killer robot. But there's one problem.
What?
The baby isn't mine.
Remember these cutscenes from Sister Location with Immortal and the Restless playing on the TV? Have we ever really figured these out? I mean, obviously, the husband is William Afton and the wife is Mrs. Afton.
Yeah, I was just about to pause and say that. Everyone was thinking about that.
It doesn't really make sense to be Elizabeth or Michael, so who is it? In the show, the husband and wife are in a debate about if the baby actually belongs to the husband. The baby is shown doing wild things like crawling on the walls, sleeping upside down, and eating the cat. But William Afton sticks his ground, claiming that the baby isn't his. That's because the baby isn't his, it's Henry's. Did you know that in Security Breach, the bots representing Afton and his wife were supposed to talk to each other? Well, this was the conversation found in the game files.
I am home.
You are home early.
I quit my job.
What about the children? We have a down payment on a new closet.
I do not know what I was thinking.
This picks up right where we left off in Immortal and the Restless with Afton and his wife arguing. But this time, Mrs. Afton says something out of place. What about the children? We have a down payment on a new closet? That literally doesn't make sense.
Oh, wait a second. I see where he's going with this.
The way the Charlie bots are reflected in the books is through the different sized closets in Charlie's room. They even titled the final book The Fourth Closet, emphasizing the closet parallel. They have a down payment on a new closet is directly referencing the Charlie robot. Need more proof? As we know, the room from
Yo, I swear to God, I remember Scott saying years ago, yo, these books are not canon. Don't even worry about it. They're in their own little universe. Bro, Yo, Scott, and I'm saying this in the nicest way possible. Like I don't actually mean it. Like I'm joking here, but Sir Scott is annoying, bro. He's such a troll. I swear. He trolled so hard we had to take like what 3 years to probably process it. I'm saying probably process it because it's a theory, but still, oh my god.
The location where we watch The Immortal and the Restless is in Security Breach. But how do we get in that room? Well, you flash your fast camera to reveal this, the smallest closet door from the books. There's no reason for this door to be small. They could have just put a regular door there. They specifically put this small door. There's actually more proof in the second ever trailer for FNAF Security Breach. Right at the beginning, we hear William Afton say this.
When I first found you, you were nothing. You were small, pathetic.
Jeez.
Now, you are more. Are you ready?
William specifically uses the word pathetic to describe the younger Charlie bot. This is the exact word that Charlie/Elizabeth uses to describe the younger version of themselves in the books. Also, we learned from the books that Charlie invented a program where if you talk to animatronics, they will talk back to you, just like Patient 46. Also, when Charlie finds out that her dad built different versions of her, the blueprints are described using one word. Schematics. Now, where have we heard that word before?
Do you have any final hints or anything you can say about Security Breach that will get people excited? Even just one word.
I think I watched this too.
Or anything.
Schematics?
I originally thought he chose that word to represent bringing Afton back, but what if he chose that word because he knew Patient 46 would be borderline impossible to figure out?
What?
How are you doing so far? Are you with me?
Yo!
Well, I guarantee this next section of the video is going to blow your mind. Let me tell you where Patient 46 is and how this Charlie bot got involved with the Pizzaplex. I believe that the beginning of the Help Wanted / Security Breach story took place when Fazbear Entertainment scanned Glitchtrap into their VR game. This led to what we saw in Help Wanted, Glitchtrap taking control of Vanessa and using her to do things in the real world. As we see in the Curse of Dreadbear and the retro CDs, Glitchtrap orders Vanessa to make a bunny costume, but I believe he asks another favor. In Security Breach, there's a ton of old relics from past pizzerias displayed in Rockstar Row. This implies that Fazbear Entertainment went back to those old pizzerias and found what we now see in the game. And there's actually
I didn't even find the FNAF 4 Kids stuff
transport all of these things to the mall. DLZ Shipping Solutions. We see Jimmy from the shipping company talking with Lisa from Fazbear Entertainment in the trusty old FNAF AR emails. In the conversation, Lisa expresses concern over receiving a shipment that is causing some problems. She states that they've, quote, run into a problem. The animatronics are responding to all security codes as promised, but now they're refusing to leave the warehouse no matter what overrides we send to them. The guys are getting a little creeped out, to be honest, swearing that the animatronics' eyes are always watching them and they're moving on their own after dark. Jimmy replies, saying that there's no way that the animatronics are moving on their own. Lisa then says, you have to get these things out of here. These animatronics just aren't working out the way we thought they would. My night shift guys are now refusing to come to work for their night shifts. One of them swore the Bonnie animatronic ate the shop's resident stray cat. That's not even possible, is it? When is another time we've seen something eat a cat in this franchise?
He ate the cat!
Fazbear Entertainment begs for the shipping company to take the shipment back, but is met with a disturbing response. It's someone from the shipping company stating, I regret to inform you that as of this morning, Jimmy is no longer an employee of DLZ Shipping Solutions. I believe Vanessa infiltrated the shipping company to get the Charlie bot along with some other animatronics to the mall. If you're not convinced yet that this is what happened, I wouldn't blame you. The FNAF AR emails are a really iffy source when it comes to the lore, because half of them were never even fully released. But what if I told you there was solid, undeniable proof in Security Breach hiding in plain sight?
Yo, I would be throwing in commentary, but I'm sorry I haven't. It's just he has me hooked. He's getting me thinking. I'm sorry for the non-commentary, but I bet some of y'all at home watching this are just like me, sitting here listening. Like,
well, let me show you. While searching for the exact year this game takes place, I found a picture frame containing the Fred Masquerade in the Monty Golf security office. What I didn't expect to find was this. On the board next to the picture frame were some sticky notes indicating a shipment has arrived that is unknown that they're trying to return. And what is that in the bottom right? Remember Jimmy. But now that we know this information, I can tell you for sure that this shipment included all of the FNAF 1 animatronics. How do I know this? Because the sticky note with the question marks on it is seen in one important place in the Pizzaplex, in Rockstar Row, right in front of the FNAF 1 stage. Those animatronics were originally on that stage. So where did they go? Well, like I talked about in my last video, I think the Blob took them or someone gave them to the Blob. I'm not 100% sure. With these sticky notes, Steelwool couldn't make it more clear that these emails were meant to play a big role in this game. So far, we've answered a ton of questions about Patient 46, but I know hardcore FNAF fans are screaming at their monitor right now because I haven't brought up a very important fact about Patient 46. In the CDs, it's revealed that Patient 46 lied about their past. Why would she lie? This one is actually pretty easy to answer, and my answer is Patient 46 didn't lie. Back when I was explaining the books, I mentioned the illusion discs that make you see things that aren't really there. In the books, Henry was able to make the Charlie bots look exactly like human beings, but when Afton stole the unfinished version of Charlie, he was unable to make her look like a convincing human. I believe this same thing happened with Patient 46. After Afton found her, he tried making her look like a convincing human being, but wasn't able to get it right. So 46 was left having to use an illusion disc to make her look like a random little girl from the past. Notice that the therapist says that 46 had parents, talking in the past tense.
The truth is, you had great parents.
She's not lying about her past, the therapist just sees someone completely different sitting in front of her. There's further proof of this in the part of the CDs where the therapist catches 46 talking with Vanny in the mall.
That's you,
my brain is fried.
I know this image is distorted, but I think it looks like you. And you're not alone here. You're talking to someone. It's hard to tell.
The therapist specifically mentions
image
that
distorted.
the image is distorted.
No way!
It's hard to tell if that's actually Patient 46 and what the thing next to them is. This lines up with what I mentioned earlier about illusion discs making you look distorted on camera. On top of that, it's also revealed that Patient 46 likes disguises.
You like the idea of being disguised? Disguises let you be sort of invisible, don't they? You can get away with almost anything when you're invisible, can't you?
Now I want to answer one big question that I think's been overlooked. How was Afton even able to escape his ultimate custom night purgatory? During the afternoon, you can see the Blob featuring a bunch of old animatronics that we know and love. I actually want to quickly go back on something I said in my last video. I actually don't think Henry's plan from FNAF 6 worked. I think the souls
it most certainly didn't.
In the Blob. Well, most of them. All of the faces in the Blob have glowing red eyes, except for two, Baby and the puppet, who also doesn't have tears, indicating that their souls are somewhere else now. I believe Afton wanted to find a way to escape his ultimate custom night purgatory, but he wasn't going to do that without getting rid of the main spirits that are keeping him there, Cassidy the aggressor and Charlie the protector. The way he got rid of Cassidy was trapping her in the Princess Quest arcade machines. Vanessa snatched Cassidy from the Blob and trapped her in 3 different arcade machines, hiding them away in different parts of the mall. In Security Breach, we collect a message about how they had just installed DJ Music Man and how turning on Bouncer mode
FNAF got complicated.
Well, by the time we get to DJ Music Man, Bouncer mode has been activated to protect that Princess Quest arcade machine. The way she got rid of Charlie was by, you guessed it, trapping her inside her own purgatory in an evil version of the bot that Henry built to originally bring her back to life. She's forced to be the evil, dark version of the puppet against her will. During the Endo Daycare section of the game, there's a secret room. This room features a door clearly alluding to the setting of FNAF 4, but this time it's not the crying child in the bed, it's a little girl. Behind this door, you're met with a golden present and an endoskeleton that's not active. The endo only activates when you open that present. And what's inside the present, you ask? A Nightmarion plush, but it's not called Nightmarion. It's called Nightmare. This, to me, indicates that a darker version of the puppet has been activated. The soul of Charlie is trapped in a darker version of herself. Actually, I'll let Nightmarion explain what they are.
No way! You got it from the FNAF 6 thing, too.
Charlie is trapped in a never-ending nightmare inflicted by William Afton. Vanessa taunts her by painting the staff bots like Nightmarion and writing "in your dreams" on them. Only after Charlie and Cassidy were out of the picture was Afton able to escape his purgatory. I mean, the literal name of the game out of the picture with writing in your dreams on them. Only after Charlie and Cassidy were out of the picture was Afton able to escape his purgatory. I mean, the literal name of the game is Security Breach. The security puppet has been breached. The reason why Baby's eyes are not glowing is because Elizabeth's soul now resides in Vanessa. I believe that's one of the first things that happens once Vanessa uses Glamrock Freddy to clear the path to the blob. This would explain why Vanessa in the retro CDs shares a similar backstory to Elizabeth. Vanessa also likes being outside, which is the opposite of Patient 46. And just like Patient 46, that's because her trauma has to do with being locked in a basement.
I don't like dark basements.
46 and 71 are completely opposite, and their likes and dislikes reflect the trauma they went through. So how does this connect to the secret code we find on the wall of the sister location? Well, let's go through it. Break and mend, I built the breath. This represents someone who is broken and is trying to mend it by building the
I probably look exactly like Matt Pat right now, because I know Matt Pat, I rewinded because I know I talked over him. I know Matt Pat watched his reaction. I bet you Matt Pat had the same face as me at some points. Just listening, absorbing, like, bro, this man is on. I said this on Twitter when Razbowski was making a joke about FNAF on 2 accounts. I said this on Twitter to Raz. I was like, bro, Raz, this man opened his 3rd eye. He cannot be stopped. He's on to something right now. He's on to something.
Break and mend,
he cannot be stopped. He opened it.
Someone who is broken and is
telling you, when Matt Pat opens his 3rd eye too, and they team up, there's no stopping them. There is nothing Scott can hide. Scott might have to come back to try to throw us off because these two are starting to open it. Bro, Scott has trolled us for way too long. We've been down. We've been down, but now our eyes are starting to open. I'm telling you.
Breath, aka rebuilding their child into an animatronic. They hunt now, drawn to life, and frit and fraught with thought and zest, and just no blunt woes.
Forgot not real, still keen.
This is referencing the Charlie bot literally being drawn to life. Give gifts, give life. This also references how she's scared and confused about how she's back in the first place, which is referenced in the CDs.
In our last session, you told me you were sad and scared about what happened to you.
Dodge, duck, crawl, shoot, crush the vile band is Afton and Vanny's plan to destroy any animatronic or human that gets in their way. And finally, cry not, try not, do not hold out hope. Your life, your aim will save those with soul. This directly references to the tears on the puppet's mask. And your life, your aim.
The glitch stopped being a glitch and turned into an intentional set of subroutines that were aimed at creating the same thing the glitch created. Those subroutines seem to have come from you.
Once again referencing Afton's plan to bring back himself and his whole family. There's no way to tell who actually wrote this message, but judging by the contents of it, I'm guessing it's William or one of his variations. In this room, instead of The Immortal and the Restless, it's Freddy and Friends on Tour playing on the TV. I actually think Afton's plan is reflected in the show. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica are going throughout their lives until they find Foxy, kidnap him, and then are surprised he's a robot. It's not until that last episode where we see Glitchtrap that Foxy decides to join the band. The song we hear playing on the TV isn't the one we hear in the cartoon, it's extended. Throughout the Afton storyline, the common theme is that Afton wants to be immortal. He wants to keep rockin' forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Oh,
the final mystery I'm going to
God.
solve is who is occupying the secret sticky note room. Well, I believe this is also Patient 46. I think if you look at all the sticky notes long enough, you can figure out that this is a robot coming into consciousness, writing down some of the last things they remember. I believe that after Vanessa trapped Charlie's actual spirit in the bot, she threw the bot down there. If she tries going up the stairs, she's met with a locked gate. If she escapes out the barn doors, she'll be met with the Nightmare-owned staff bots. Even though the bot is partly Afton's creation, the soul starts to gain consciousness. She starts by writing in
I was just about to say.
things like
So what must be now here is what he's talking about.
I is I. But over time, the bot starts to write down actual memories, including a picture of 3 people with the person in the middle looking very similar to the puppet. I believe this to be Charlie, her mom, and Henry. You also see a ton of drawings relating to the number 3, like this one depicting 3 kids at a birthday party, which is the exact number of kids she saw before she died. You could even relate the red, green, yellow, and blue drawings to the wristbands that each kid was wearing that night. There's also a lot of drawings of presents, which would make a lot of sense with Charlie's backstory. This drawing of Freddy could be depicted two ways. As we know from FNAF 2, that was the last animatronic walking around during the party the night she died. And also, Lefty was probably the last thing she remembered before trying to be freed by Henry. If you want to throw the books into the equation, there's a whole page where Charlie's reminiscing about a childhood memory, hanging out at Freddy Fazbear's, eating pizza, wearing a birthday hat, drawing pictures, and writing on the wall with handwriting that looks extremely similar to the handwriting we see on the sticky notes. Why is the Afton family depicted by staff bots in the room? Because that's the final goal of William and Vanny, to bring back the Afton family. I actually no longer believe that Gregory's a robot or the crying child. In between the releases of Help Wanted
I
and
guess so now, huh?
There was a conversation happening in the source code of ScottGames.com. It read, "Stay the course. I will. Focus on my voice. I will. Don't let anyone lead you astray. I won't. Have you selected one? I have." I don't think Gregory's the crying child yet. I think he was the child chosen by Vanessa/Elizabeth to be the crying child rebuilt. As we know, Elizabeth isn't a stranger to stealing people's skin and walking around in it. This would explain Vanessa ordering 3 lifelike human male rubber masks in the FNAF AR emails. One for the crying child, Michael, and William Afton. And yes, I am insinuating that Vanny planned to cut off these people's faces. This isn't a new thing to these games, especially the more recent games. In FNAF VR Help Wanted, it's revealed that the previous playtester cut off his own face. A guy in his mid to late 20s cutting off his face after Afton made him do it. Sounds like the perfect candidate.
I'm sorry, I just read that. I just guessed his age. It's just a theory. Leave me alone. Lol.
Cutting off his face.
You know what? Permitted. You know that's gotta be permitted. This man has already opened up his third eye. I think he's allowed to add a little guessing here and there. You know. I mean, geez. It's really hard to open your third eye when it comes to FNAF. Trust me, it's 8 years worth of content you have to shift through and sort. It's annoying.
And made him do it. Sounds like the perfect candidate to be a rebuilt Michael Afton. This would also explain why Gregory is homeless. Vanessa chooses him because he's also the perfect candidate, a kid with no parents who will come looking for him. So she erases his files from the database in an effort to cover up his eventual murder, but he gets away inside of Freddy. I will say this, if you believe that Vanny has already successfully recreated the crying child in Gregory by the time we're playing the game, I wouldn't blame you. The theory could work both ways, but I think my theory makes a little more sense. I'll leave that up to you. I want to make this clear. I don't think every single little detail in question has an answer, at least yet. This video is me trying to predict what we're gonna get in the DLC with the current evidence we have. In my opinion, Patient 46 being the game's stand-in for the evil Charlie bot in the books is the thing that makes the most sense at this time. Not saying that it's 100% correct. This is FNAF. There's definitely gonna be holes, but it's
lots of them.
Close. But let me answer some questions you still might have.
A lot of stuff you're saying is making sense.
A very talented hacker. Well, she's literally a robot, and her father was Henry, who was a very talented engineer, so that kind of just makes sense. Patient 46 is revealed to be manipulating someone, and although it's never revealed who that is, it's presumed to be Vanessa. This is the hardest question to answer because we just don't have enough data to come to a proper conclusion. I believe the evil Charlie bot has been working for Afton this whole time, and might have been helping him gain control of Vanessa, but the timeline of events is impossible to figure out. So hopefully, if this theory is correct in any way, shape, or form, we'll get answers in the DLC. Speaking of the DLC, who is the girl in the DLC poster? Well, what if I told you this wasn't the first time we've seen her? The Silver Eyes trilogy was recently ported to graphic novels, and oddly enough, there were some differences between the actual books and the graphic novels. For example, characters being drawn differently than they were described in the original. I think they did this to better fit the games they're currently releasing and the story they now want to tell. On the page where we learn that Henry discards his creations that don't work, you can see Charlie holding the head of a blonde girl with pigtails.
No way.
Almost exactly matching the girl in the DLC poster. And what color is the text on the monitors? Green. Just like the wristband Charlie was wearing when she died. I don't know, maybe that's a stretch, but I thought I'd throw it out there. So there you have it. That's my theory. Did I just solve FNAF's security breach? I'm not sure, but I'm confident enough to say that I think I'm pretty close.
Like, a lot of it made sense.
But I hope this video was somewhat interesting to you. This series was months in the making, so I really appreciate your constant support. Wait, are Vanny and Vanessa the same person? I don't know.
Probably. Nah, ironically, the playlist made me go right back to his other video. Oh, great! It's awesome to see him have 1 million views because this man deserves something for opening his third eye. Holy crap! It's been 30 minutes of me having realizations with this dude. Holy crap! my brain is fried, but like I kind of understand it in a way. That's what FNAF does to you, all right? It's just what it does to you. You know if you know. Like if you've been following this series ever since it was like in the first, second, third game, you will understand what this series does to your brain and why it's just frying my head. That's all I can really say. If you guys want me to react to more FNAF, make sure you guys hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe for more to Cook Sister today. Let me know what you guys think about his theory in the comments down below. Be nice. He's a nice guy, so you guys be nice back. And stop harassing theorists, all right? They're just trying to theorize.